today with me. Emma is actually my very first junior camp counselor. She's my first kid that matriculated from a farm camp kid here up to being a counselor with me. So we are hosting April vacation camp right now, and the kids are having lunch with other supervised adults.
They're not just out there by themselves?
And so Emma and I are going to show you how to plant lettuce seeds. We're doing greens today. So in the spirit of greens, we're not going to be planting just lettuce. We're also going to be doing kale, Swiss chard, and spinach. So I'm just going to talk. You guys know the routine. We've got Cameron Bonsi from Coast of Maine.
I'm back here.
So he will answer any soil questions, grow questions that you have, and just, write down any questions that you have as we go. So the first thing we always do is start with the best grow medium you can find. Here at Farm to Table Kids, we use Coast of Maine seed start mix. So we're going to fill your seed trays with seed start mix. You don't want to pack it down, so don't smash it down. All I do is gently comb the top to make sure there aren't any air bubbles. And then, Emma, you're going to take that tray, and the number one thing that we always do is label what we're going to be growing, because as a home grower, you don't need a whole, 300 heads of romaine lettuce. You only need what you're going to need for your home garden. So get the seeds that you're going to be using and make sure you label as you go with your trays. So in all of the greens, I love growing greens because it's really simple. It's so simple. All you do is put the seeds in the soil and let it go. So chard is awesome to plant with kids because their seed is kind of funky. They look like beet seeds. And so it's a really fun texture to grow with kids. And so this is a ruby red Swiss chard. And you could do any kind of chard. I love rainbow chard, is my favorite. So Emma, what you're gonna do is plant 2 seeds per cell. I personally I'm a big fan of putting a ton of seeds in little spaces and then spacing them out, but it does take extra time. So as a home grower, if you're putting 2 seeds per cell, that's going to be plenty of Swiss chard. That's going to be, if we do these 2 sections, do all 6 cells here, 6 cells here. So that'll be 24 plants of Swiss chard, which would be great. Now, when you're planting from seed, you don't want your seeds to go deep. Why don't we want the seeds to go deep, Emma?
So they're not.
Then they work so hard to find the sun. Exactly. So the depth of the seed is actually just twice the width of the seed. So that's not a lot. If our Swiss chard seed is this big and we only need to go twice the width, that's about your fingernail. Okay? So then once you have those beautifully placed, you just take them, and I just go like that and then cover them right up. And then just, you can cover them as you go. Cool. And then you can use this extra soil if you want to use it to cover. Cool. So we'll just cover those, and we're going to label them. Do you have extra?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Emma has extra, and I'm a big fan. We grow with kids here, so I'm a big fan of just use it. So go ahead and put them in there. It's okay if some are going to have 3 or 4 plants per. You can see in this cell here, I've got a ton of romaine heads going in a tiny, tiny spot, and that's okay. You just have to pop them out and separate them. Because you have 2 to 4 in each of these cells, and that's plenty of space, you won't have to pot these up. These can go from this cell right into your field when you're ready to go.
Bucky Bradley says that their seeds sprouted this morning with the Coast of Maine seed starter.
Because it's magic! It's the best seed start mix out there. It really is. It's incredible. Okay, so now we're going to do some kale. Everybody loves kale. Kale chips is something we make every day at farm camp. They're delicious, right? They're so good. So kale's another great one for little hands because they're just a fun circle seed. So Emma, because we love kale and everybody uses it all the time, let's do 4 to 5 per cell. And I'm going to get you labels to put on your labels, on your tray. And then Cameron,
Yes.
what are some of your favorite greens to grow and eat?
Well, I've only been successful with lettuce.
Oh, yeah, lettuce is awesome because, you guys, lettuce, you can grow that year round. I have a cedar box in my kitchen, and I keep lettuce heads in there throughout the year. So something like romaine or salanova, you just take leaves off as you need them, and that will continuously produce for you. The only thing is you have to make sure it doesn't bolt. So that means when it's exposed to extreme temperatures of heat, it will send off its flowers. So there are shade cloths and remade that you can use to protect your harvest in that way. So we planted, what did we plant there? I already forgot. See, you already forgot too!
Should we go back? Should we ask somebody online?
Yeah, this is a test.
What did we
Who
do?
knows what we planted?
Does anybody know?
Nobody's paying attention.
Is it lettuce?
Yeah.
Is that what we did?
We did romaine. Okay, so you've got kale here, and we did romaine on the first one. So always put down what you're growing and also what the date is. So today is the 19th?
Yes.
4/19. Putting it there. Okay. Now Emma's doing a great job covering up. You do want to
Sally
make
Knight
sure-
was paying attention. She said kale, just so you know.
Thank you, Sally. So Emma's doing a great job covering up her seeds. You don't want the seed to be exposed at all because then it will absorb air rather than moisture and it's going to dry out that plant. Okay, so the other green, I know this is technically an herb, but I wanted to plant some basil. This is a custom mixed basil. It's just a blend of green and purples. Guys, I love growing flowers for kids and for our teachers and for our community. And we love incorporating herbs into the flowers that we grow. And so purple basil and Thai basil are gorgeous in flowers. And so you can get a seed mix like this that has just a mix of different types of basil, and something like that's really good for flowers. So Emma, you're going to take those and put them in here. I love basil and I love giving basil as a gift to people. Mother's Day is coming up!
Always Mother's Day.
Start,
You keep
always
it,
Mother's Day with me. I
Yes.
start promoting Mother's Day in February, of the year prior.
Oh, wait a minute. We have a question for you. Do you flavor your kale chips?
Well, okay. Thank you for asking. That's a really good question.
That was from Sally Knight.
Thank you, Sally. I do. However, when I make them at farm camp, I let the kids choose their own seasoning. So they get to pick thyme or like rosemary or lavender and kind of put it in with the kale chips, and we just put them on the grill. All you do is take fresh kale, olive oil, anything you want to use. Garlic scapes would be great for that, or chives, and you mix it with the kale. You should be planting, young lady. How many in there? 4 or 5 each. And then, so I do like to season them, but most of the kids like it plain. So if I'm making it for the big group, I keep it plain. But I do very much encourage kids to season.
That's awesome.
And we have garlic scapes coming. Like, this is garlic that the kids planted really early, like over winter they planted this. And so garlic scape season should be coming soon. I love garlic scape season. Okay, so we've got basil going in here. And then, basil. Here you go, Emma. So once those sprout up, because of the way that we're placing between 2 to 4 seeds per cell, we'll be able to let those grow and get acclimated to the weather and plant those directly outside. If you're someone who likes to do mass plantings, like what that means is putting a bunch of seeds in a small space, you do have to take something like this and then pot it up into something like this, and then it goes out to the field. So we're saving a whole step in the process by just being mindful about not planting too much in these cells so they can go straight from here to the field. What are you laughing at?
No, because Bucky says you make it so exciting. I even stopped watering and have both hands on the phone now. Stacy says she loves garlic scapes.
Garlic scapes are so good. Listen, if you've never tried a garlic scape, you guys, they're so good, right? Are they so? That's why farm camp is so fun. Because why is farm camp so fun? We get to play and explore and like try things, pick it. Like, it's so great to encourage kids to go outside and play with your food. It's the best. But garlic scapes, to get back to that for a second. The garlic scape is A garlic, when it's growing, it's sending energy down to the bulb to grow. But right now, it's sending it a scape up. Basically, it's a main plant that's going to come up from here. And in the early summer, late spring, you cut that stem off, and that redirects energy to grow a bulb rather than growing seed.
Yep.
Because it's trying to send off seed. And that's what you do is you cut that main garlic scape. And then if you pickle that garlic scape and you make garlic scape relish, it's so good on sandwiches. You could also just take garlic scapes and add it to like any kind of stir fry. Anyways, we're getting off topic.
Oh yeah, we got to get back on topic. We only have so many minutes in a day.
So we've got these trays planted. We have one more section to do. Let's do another thing of lettuce over there. So let's do 4 heads each. Now, every lettuce seed is different. We showed you a bunch of different seeds. This is a romaine seed. Romaine seed can be really difficult to work with kids. So a lot of times I will get pelleted seeds, and what that does is just adds a coating onto those seeds so that you have more control over how many you're putting in there. But right now, Emma's doing a great job just sprinkling about 5 or so in each cell. And what I tell kids is like, it's just like putting sprinkles on a cupcake. Just go ahead and sprinkle them in there. And we're gonna label and make sure we know what we're planting, and we'll be good to go. So the only other thing with lettuce is not finicky. It's very low maintenance to grow, but it needs water. So just make sure you're always watering your lettuce. Water your soil when it starts to look dry. So you'll notice a color variation. And when it starts to look dry, just give it a nice water. We are going to top water this. We don't have sensitive seeds that require light for germination in this tray, so we're going to top water this when Emma's done, and we'll let it grow.
You were spraying some of our other seeds starting. You were just misting almost.
Yes, I have a mist. We have a mist on this nozzle, so we are going to still mist this.
Okay.
Don't top water with a heavy watering can or a heavy stream of water.
Yeah,
that
that's
will
what
send the seed too far down
Yep.
into the soil, and it won't be able to work too hard to find the light. So yes, thank you, Cameron.
See?
Either
I'm
use the
listening.
Thank you.
I'm listening.
Good, good, good. So we're going to use either a spray bottle or a mister attachment. And we're going to put those back in the romaine bag. 419. All right, and then because we never top water with a heavy stream, let me get our mister. So the other thing about planting, you always want to carry good energy when you're starting your seed.
Oh, that's really difficult for you, isn't it?
Listen,
Come on.
that's like my mantra. You know that about me. Okay, so we're putting this on mist. I love this nozzle head. I got this at Skillins. It's really nice. I love this nozzle head. It has every attachment I've ever wanted. Okay, so what I'm not going to do, you don't want that. You just want to mist.
There you go. That's awesome.
I know, so great. So you can mist, get your seeds in. When, after you water, it's a great time to take another look. You'll be able to see your seeds that kind of came up to the surface that didn't quite get covered. So just take a minute and send them back down, and then water again. Emma, great job! Wonderful!
Emma,
Okay.
do you have a tough time keeping up with Steph?
Sometimes.
Okay, I just want to know because I can't. So
That's why she's great at camp counseling with me. All right, so lettuce are...
So it's a question from Angie. She says, when do we transplant our greens to our vegetable beds?
Thank you for asking,
Yeah.
Angie. So lettuce is cold tolerant. That means you don't have to worry about lettuce. It's still dipping down to 32 degrees at night. That's okay for lettuce. I keep it in the greenhouse, and my greenhouse is not heated. So lettuce is actually thriving right now. When it's getting heat and sun during the day and cool temperatures at night, this is primo time for lettuce. So when you want to plant them out, you have to harden them off first. Follow me, Cameron. Let's talk about hardening off.
Okay.
So hardening off is when you take a plant and you bring it from its nice, cozy, warm, very comfortable environment, and you expose it to the outdoors.
Right.
Right now, I'm hardening off a bunch of sweet peas that I want to get planted out to the field. So what we're doing is putting all these peas outside so they can get acclimated. They're going to get sunburnt, they're going to get windburnt, and that's okay. I want them to get acclimated to the weather. I'm going to let these guys stay outside all week, and on Friday, I'll put
Even
them
at
out in
night?
the field. Yep, even at night. I'm
Okay.
gonna leave them out. If it gets, well,
Yeah.
maybe not. No,
Yeah.
I am going to leave them out because I want these to live outside for the rest of the season by Friday. So these will stay out. If it hits like to 30, I might put Romaine on it, but honestly, sweet peas are good down to 24 degrees.
So is this how you also harden off the kids that come here? You just
That's
throw
right.
them outside?
I just chain them.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no.
No, I'm kidding.
We harden off all of the tomato seedlings, the peppers, everything. If you take a fresh tomato or pepper and you go from your nice, beautiful house out to the field,
Yep.
you're going to think your tomato plants went through a storm at the end of the day because they'll be white-leaved and sun-bleached and there'll be holes in
Yeah.
them because they got hit by the weather.
Yeah.
So make sure that you take at least 5 days to harden off your vegetables before you bring them outside, and make sure you have at least 3 sets of true leaves before you put them out. I would put things like greens, brassicas, broccoli, kales. I'd put those out now. And then, although I don't have them out yet, mine will be out this weekend. But it's safe to put those out now as long as they're mature. And I'll show
Cool.
you what that looks like. So,
Try to keep up, Emma. There you go.
let's see. Something like, where's my spinach? Oh, the spinach might be outside hardening off. I think it's all outside hardening off. But yeah, make sure you have at least 3 sets of true leaves before you put something out. Oh, here it is. Okay, so since we just planted greens, this is a good example of spinach that can go out. So this spinach, these are the first leaves that come out. This is the true leaf of the spinach plant. And spinach, just like lettuce, is cold tolerant. This is prime time for spinach right now. In fact, I've stopped seeding spinach because I don't grow spinach in the heat of the summer, which is what I'm seeding for right now. So right now, I will wait 1 more month and then I'll start my fall crop spinach. But I'm actually not seeding spinach right now because they don't like the heat of the summer. So something like this could go out. But today is the first day hardening off, so I'm going to harden it off for 5 days and plant it out on Friday. Cool, I love the question.
Emma, could you repeat all that information back to us?
You want to make sure it's ready by hardening it off from the greenhouse or home to the field.
There you go. You got it. Awesome.
Okay, so any other questions for today?
I'm having a hard time reading the screen. I don't see any more questions. It's just the light and everything.
Well, guys, this is the greenhouse. This is just some of the seedlings we have going. We still have a ton of seedlings over at the seed lab in Cumberland, but this gives you a good idea of what we've got going in here. This is my tomato box, because like I said, it's unheated right now. So I use this tomato box. I close it at night, and there's a 4-foot heat mat in there. That's all tomatoes and peppers. And then we've got tons of different types of flowers and greens growing. But I also have about a dozen farm camp kids up in a corral over there playing and having lunch that I'm going to go join them.
Awesome. Emma, thank you. You were great.
I'm
We
going
hope
to
to
keep
have you
Emma
again.
here because Emma is actually leading our crafts for this week, and she came up with 2 ideas that just like blew my mind. You have to do a video. I want you to shoot video of her.
We will.
doing our tomato craft, and what was the other one? The Z's. Look at
This-
that. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, I saw them doing those
So
when I
each
came
of
in.
the kids made, they're called zines, but they made these little, basically it's a garden journal, and they're going through all of our catalogs, and they're making little pamphlets of all the things
Oh,
that
that's
they want
awesome.
to grow. Oh my gosh,
That is
it's
so good.
Cute. So check that out. Thank you for tuning in. Also, if you're holding on to Sunday's copy of the Portland Press Herald, check the front page of the food section. Farmer Steph's on there.
That's
Tuning
awesome.
in.